Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something super important, how spending just a few cents on branding can actually let you charge dollars more for your stuff. We're going to break down exactly how you can turn a totally generic product into a premium experience that keeps customers coming back for more.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a problem that every single one of us in e-commerce has faced, right? Your customer orders something, they're excited, and then it shows up in a plain, boring, anonymous package. There's absolutely nothing that screams your brand. In that moment, that first impression, it can totally deflate all their excitement into just a big ol' meh. Yeah, that unbranded package, it basically feels like some random drop shipment. Your customer is left feeling kind of underwhelmed. But, and this is the cool part, with just a few simple branding touches, that exact same product suddenly feels like a premium buy from a real legit brand. And look, this isn't just about looking pretty. It's about building what we call perceived value. That's the secret sauce for customer loyalty and, you guessed it, charging what you're really worth.
So, how do we actually make that leap from meh to wow, this is awesome? Well, we're going to break it down into 3 levels. Let's start with level 1, the absolute foundation of branding your apparel, the neck label. This is probably the single easiest and most powerful way to make a product feel like it's truly yours. You're literally replacing the manufacturer's tag with your own brand. It just creates this seamless white label feel. But here's the catch. How you do it and what it's going to cost you changes a lot depending on which print-on-demand platform you're using.
Okay, so let's look at the trade-offs here. With Printify, you can get it done for as cheap as like 55 cents, which is great. But, and it's a big but, it totally depends on which print provider you pick. Not all of them offer it. Printful, on the other hand, is super consistent. You can get it on pretty much everything, but it'll cost you a bit more, around 99 cents. And then there's Gelato. They do things differently. They just bundle it into their paid plans, so if you're a subscriber, you don't pay a per-item fee at all. All right, let's level up. On to level 2. So you've branded the product itself, which is awesome. The next step is to brand the whole experience. And that's where package inserts come into play. These little things are specifically designed to turn that first-time buyer into a lifelong fan.
Man, don't sleep on inserts. They are an absolute marketing powerhouse packed onto a little piece of cardstock. This is your golden opportunity to say thanks, to throw in a discount code to get them to buy again, to ask for that all-important 5-star review, or even just to get them to follow you on social. It's a direct line to your customer, right at the moment they're the most excited and engaged.
So you'll see here that each platform has a totally different way of handling inserts. On Printify, again, it's all about your provider. The cost, and even if you can do it, depends on them, but it can start super low, like 15 cents. Printful's got a more formal warehouse setup. You're going to pay a 50-cent picking fee for every single insert, plus you have to pay to store them there. Then you've got Gelato, where inserts are a perk for their paid plan members, and they run about 49 cents each.
Okay, for those of you who are ready to go all in to create a truly unforgettable unboxing experience, we're moving on to level 3. This is the big one, the pro look, custom packaging. So right now, this is something only Printful really offers, and it's a pretty big commitment, operationally speaking. You have to source and buy your own branded mailers. Then you have to ship them to a Printful warehouse. And then you have to pay them storage fees to keep them there. So yeah, it gives you the ultimate control over your brand's look and feel, but it definitely takes a real investment up front, both time and money.
Okay, let's pull all this data together and see how things shake out. Here's a final scorecard, so you can see, at a glance, how these platforms really stack up when it comes to branding.
And here it is. This scorecard lays it all bare. You can see the patterns pretty clearly, right? Printify's options, things like gift messages and inner labels, they're great, but it's all provider dependent. You have to do your homework. Gelato, they streamline things like labels and inserts, but they lock them behind their paid plans. And then there's Printful. They really stand out with the most complete set of tools. They're the only ones doing outer labels and that full-on custom packaging, giving you total brand control from start to finish.
And look, it's not just us saying this. This is backed up by industry research. A recent benchmark report put it pretty plainly. If your main goal is consistent quality and having a ton of branding tools at your fingertips, Printful Suite is really the most integrated package out there for building a premium brand.
So, all these options are really powerful.
But let's be real, they all cost time and money. Which brings us to the million-dollar question. When does it actually make sense to invest in all this stuff? If you're just starting out, still in those early days and doing less than, say, 100 orders a month, your focus and your money should probably be pointed somewhere else. Look, at this early stage, you get the biggest bang for your buck from just two things. One, having absolutely killer must-have designs, and two, providing amazing customer service. A great design gets you that first sale, but great service, that gets you the first 5-star review. And when you're just starting out, believe me, those are worth way more than a custom neck label.
But once your store starts to get some real momentum, once you cross that magic line of over 100 orders a month, well, the entire equation changes. Now is the time to start reinvesting some of that profit back into the customer experience. Adding those neck labels, throwing in those package inserts, this is when it starts to pay off with real dividends. You're boosting that perceived value, and you're building the kind of loyalty that gets people to buy from you again and again. So I'll leave you with this final thought for your own business. Ask yourself, is your branding just some optional icing you might add later? Or is it a key ingredient? Something you're baking right into the very recipe of your brand to make sure it's built to last?